the skipper, Chief. We're looking for Kendall. Searching the ship. Open up. I want to talk to you.
Passage of the Tangmar. The story of a ship and its cargo of death.
Don't make a sound, Kendall. If Captain Goddard finds out you're in here, I'll use this gun on you without a second thought. If you want to stay alive until midnight, keep your mouth shut.
The Tangmar plowed eastwards, bound for Jamaica and Savannah Lamar. And I lay on the floor of Cregan's cabin, bound hand and foot, staring into the barrel of the revolver in the chief engineer's hand. Outside the door, Captain Goddard waited impatiently for the chief to open up, while my mind raced as I tried to think of a way to attract Goddard's attention without feeling a bullet smash into me. The captain knocked again, and Cregan moved fast. The gag was shoved back in my mouth, and I was rolled back under the bunk. I heard the chief's steps move to the door, and then Sharon's voice.
Mr. Cregan, this is urgent. Please hurry.
Aye, I'm coming.
Chief, what the devil kept you, sir?
Oh, look, can't a man take 40 winks from this blasted tub without being disturbed?
It seems not, Chief. That darn fool of a first mate has disappeared.
There's no sign of him anywhere, Mr. Cregan.
I'm beginning to think that we might have been all wrong, Chief. About Lawler, I mean. It looks as if our murderer is still at large.
Well, has anyone spoken to Lawler? Maybe he knows what's happened to Kendall.
You don't think he might have... Oh, don't be daft, man. How could he? Locked in his cabin with guards outside the door?
Have you seen Dirk anywhere, Mr. Cregan?
Oh, no. No, not a sign of him. I just hope he's all right, that's all.
No one seems to have seen Mr. Kendall since he went to the wireless cabin.
What was he doing there?
Well, Mr. Mulcahy, the wireless operator, said he was in there talking to him at midday, asking if there were any further messages for him from London.
And then?
And then Kendall left the wireless cabin and just, disappeared into thin air.
It doesn't make sense, Cregan. How can a man simply vanish? Someone's got to have seen him since then.
Well, I wish I could help you, but I haven't seen him. Do you want me to help you look?
No, you're going back to your bunk.
Miss Challoner, there's something wrong.
Oh, no. No, of course not.
Come on, you two. Let's keep looking. It seems to me there isn't a corner of this darn ship we haven't been over.
Oh, Captain Goddard, there is the brig. You know, where you've got that man Jones locked up.
Now, why, for the love of heaven, would Kendall be down there?
Well, it won't hurt to look.
Oh, all right, let's go. But why Kendall would want to spend all this time talking with a rat like Jones, I'm hanged if I know.
I'll get that gag off you, Kendall. There. Well, I'm glad to see you've decided to behave sensibly. If they'd found out that you were in my cabin, it would have been too bad for them and for you.
You can't kill everyone on this ship, Cregan.
I don't want to. And you see, I've become used to killing. After the first time, the shock is never so bad. You can look at the man you've killed and not feel a thing.
Your only chance is to give yourself up.
And hang? Oh, no, Kendall.
Colonel Hacking knows all about you, the message that you destroyed. He's got your number, Chief. Doesn't matter where the Tangmar bursts, he'll be waiting. Getting rid of me won't help in the long run. You can't shake off a man like Hacking. He'll find you if it takes him years.
I very much doubt that.
How did you get that key to Dr. Lawler's instrument case?
The doctor is a man of habit. I've often seen him fingering that key and placing it back in the same pocket.
And you used it to get the scalpel?
Aye. I used Miller's cabin again. I had the doctor talking to Major Challoner and waited until the Major had staggered off to his cabin. Then Dr. Lawler said he was going to look for the guards who should have been on duty in the passengers' quarters.
I should have known why you weren't in this cabin when he went looking for you.
And no one knows better than I the time it takes to get here from the passengers' cabins.
Time enough for a loner Fedorov to die.
Look, how you spend your last few hours alive is your business, Kendall. But asking me questions won't help you.
It helps me to realize what a blind, trusting fool I've been. 3 people have died needlessly because I thought you wanted to help me.
Time after time I've wanted to burst out laughing at you, suspecting one person after another. Goddard, Challoner, Tuker, and the doctor. But never me.
What is it that's driving you, Cregan? You know you've killed for a reason that doesn't exist. Your son's murderer has been arrested by hacking. Why go on with this?
None of them will live to inherit the Wedderman fortune. That money is tainted. Amassed by a man who used it as bait to smash my marriage and...
You're insane, Cregan. Your mind is warped and twisted with killing. Why don't you admit you've developed a taste for it? You're like a mad dog that's tasted blood.
Shut up! Shut up, you hear?
But when it comes to your turn, you're going to have time to think, Cregan, to know that every breath you draw brings the rope that much closer. It won't be sudden for you, not something that you won't have time to believe before it happens. Oh, no. You'll see the judge place the black cap on his head, and you'll stand and face him and hear the words that condemn you to only 3 weeks more.
I told you to shut up. Do you think I can't see your game? Do you think I don't know what you're playing at? Trying to make me shout you down so they'll hear outside. Well, it won't work, Kendall. And no one's going to hear.
You're smarter than I thought, Cregan. But getting me up on deck is going to be difficult. By that time, I'll have nothing to lose.
Mulcahy will be here at midnight.
Oh, yes. Mulcahy. Now, there's a weak reed, if ever I saw one. Do you honestly think he'll obey your orders and come?
He knows that if he doesn't...
Oh, yes, the customs people, the smuggling, but that would mean only a prison sentence. For murder, he'd swing with you. He's got plenty of time to think about that, Cregan, and by midnight I think he'll crack and spill the whole story to the captain.
That still won't save your life. No one gets through that door, Kendall, unless I open it. And it won't be open again until Mulcahy gets here. If he doesn't...
Well, Cregan, it's usual for the condemned man to be granted a last request. You'll find that out for yourself. But I'll settle for a cigarette.
Aye, all right. I'll light one for you and I'll put it in your mouth. But I'm not untying you, Kendall.
Thanks. You know, Cregan, when you've got only 2 hours to live, it's amazing how clearly you can think.
Well, a deputation, eh? Come to see old Jones. Don't tell me you let me out of this stinking hole, Skipper.
Just answer one question for me, Jones. We're looking for Dirk Kendall. Have you seen him at all?
Now, what would I want with Kendall? The less I see of that copper, the better. Wasn't for him, I wouldn't be locked up, would I?
Please, Mr. Jones, if he's been here...
No one's been here, no one at all, except the swine who brings me something to eat.
Are you quite positive, Mr. Jones? You see, it's very
Oh,
important...
Mr. Jones, not just Jones anymore. You must be worried about this mug, Kendall. What's happened to him? Someone stick a knife in his back? If they did, then good luck to him.
I'll see you never get another ship, Jones. There won't be a deep water man will allow you near the gangplank.
That wouldn't be any skin off my nose. None of you'd listen to me when I tried to help you. When I told you who the murderer was. Now you tell me you've arrested the wrong man, this Dr. Lawler fella. He never killed anyone in his whole life.
You know who the murderer is?
Of course I do. I told Kendall. Was this fella Cregan?
You rat,
Oh,
Jones.
yeah. Before that, I said it was the skipper here. Cried wolf, I did once too often, miss. And that's why no one will believe me.
Have you any proof, Mr. Jones?
I got the proof of my own eyes.
You saw Mr. Cregan killed?
Not see him kill, miss, but I saw him washing blood off his hands when I was working down in the engine room, and he tried to tell me he'd cut himself. Funny thing was that there was no cut. I had a look at his hand afterwards, and there wasn't a cut anywhere.
Well, why didn't you tell us this before?
Because you all thought I was making it up. Everyone was so busy calling me a liar, they didn't want to hear what I had to say. Even Kendall, he was the same.
If you're lying now...
All right, so don't believe me.
When was it that you saw Mr. Cregan washing his hands?
After Miller was killed?
And you kept quiet about it till now? What are you up to, Jones? You've got some scheme in your head to make trouble. What's the percentage in accusing a man like the chief?
Nothing else to do, Skip. Locked up down here with all day to think. Things start to fall into place. Well, it has to be this bloke Cregan. He's the only man, apart from you, Skipper, who can go anywhere he likes on this stinking ship, any time he likes.
I've known the chief engineer for years. We've sailed together across the 7 seas. I'd trust him with my life.
Then you'd be a bigger fool than I thought you was, Skipper, and that's saying a lot.
Oh, come now, Mr. Jones.
Of course, Cregan did come up to the bridge when Kendall was down here with you. And he told me that you'd made another accusation against me.
And you come storming in just as I was giving Kendall the whole story. Looked like I was trying to talk myself out of another tight spot, didn't it? Like when Kendall discovered it was me who'd attacked him on deck that night. And I said you'd put me up to it, Skipper. Oh, yeah, I know. But Cregan knew darn well that I was onto him. And that's why I started the trouble in the engine room, because we weren't going to be allowed ashore at Papeete. Well, I was scared of Cregan. He could have seen to it that something happened to me. I've been expecting it all the time, locked up in here, waiting for Cregan to come and let me have it. Yeah, but I guess he was just biding his time.
Captain Goddard, I noticed it at the time when we were talking to Mr. Cregan outside his cabin. He locked the door as he came out. Why would he do that? Unless there was something or someone inside he didn't want us to know about.
I didn't know how close help was as I puffed at the cigarette Cregan had given me. And the pattern of death fell into place on this passage of the Tangmar.